Yesterday, what I feel like was probably the single biggest day of the trial so far, with evidence, and it was a great day.
J.J. Vallow's grandpa feels yesterday's testimony that Lori Vallow Daybell's hair was found on duct tape wrapped around her son's body was a nail in the coffin in this murder case. Today, jurors heard from 4 witnesses in Vallow's trial and listened to a portion of a podcast that Vallow was on.
Vallow is charged with murder, conspiracy, and grand theft related to the deaths of her 2 kids, JJ and Tylee, and her husband Chad Daybell's late wife, Tammy. So today, the court listened to that 40 minutes of a 2-hour-long podcast played while the defense was cross-examining one of Tammy and Chad's neighbors and friends, Todd Gilbert. The defense said they wanted jurors to hear it so they could learn more about Lori's religious beliefs. Prosecutors, meantime, didn't think it was relevant.
The judge allowed 40 minutes of it to play, saying this case is built on religious ideology, which was even referenced in the indictment. We're going to show you a snippet of that podcast where Lori talks about Jesus showing her she was a warrior and war has started.
I too have seen the resurrected Jesus Christ, and he has told me my mission, and he has sent me to help people and lift them in their missions. He showed me myself as a warrior in the pre-existence, as a warrior, like a beast. Like I fought with Satan. He hates me. I did all these things. And so he showed that to me so that I would put on me.
The defense played the podcast after attorneys questioned Todd and his wife, Alice. Todd said in February of 2019, Chad told him he had a vision Tammy would die and not make it to her 50th birthday. Tammy died several months later in October of 2019 when she was just 49. Just a week after Tammy died, they were shocked when Chad told them he met the woman he was going to marry.
Chad also told them Lori had recently lost a daughter. They say Lori and Chad never mentioned JJ. The Gilberts also testified Chad asked to move in with them after Lori was arrested in Hawaii in February of 2020. Alice knew JJ and Tylee were missing at this point, so she asked Chad about Tylee.
I asked them, where are the kids, Chad, and doesn't Tylee want a life, a job, a car, a boyfriend? And he said she didn't like people and she didn't like me.
And what struck you about those statements?
Because he said didn't.
He is the past tense?
He's the past tense.
Prosecution also called back Fremont County Detective Bruce Mattingly. He went over Tammy's medical records after her body was exhumed in December of 2019. Nothing stood out to him, he said, despite Chad telling authorities she was really sick.
For more in-depth coverage from today's trial, you can head to this story on our website, ktvb.com. You can also scan that QR code you see on your screen for a link to all of our coverage so far throughout this trial.